And you know, segue, my mom was surprised that I came home since I didn't tell anybody. I didn't catch it on camera because I kind of ruined the surprise. Um, because she left her keys and I thought she had gone out of town. So I was like, oh no. So I texted her and I ruined the surprise. But I got my brother, who was not surprised at all. I like jumped out of the corner. I was like, ah, and he's just like, hey,
Bruh.
I'm done with you. But he was happy I was home, which sucks because I didn't actually really get to hang out with him as much. He was working the whole time, and they both were, which is why I wasn't making a big deal of me coming home because I knew they would both be working. Like the day I left, the day he was off, and so I was like, I'm sorry. Hello, internet people. This is gonna be a short video, and I apologize right now for the volume. I'm a little sick. I'm recovering from the flu, but I have some time, and it's been a minute, so I'm gonna record a short video here. Today's video is basically things to bring with you when you're traveling. So recently I was just on a train ride, 12 hours one way. Hence why I'm sick. I was just thinking, you know, a lot of people don't really think about what to pack or bring with you on your long or short trips. So for me, being, I guess, more seasoned traveling for the last like year and a half or so, just some small things you want to bring with you. So 5 things that you should bring with you on a small trip: eye mask, blanket, phone charger, book, earplugs, and bonus, a belt. So one of the biggest things that I bring with me when I go on even plane rides or train rides, or I haven't taken the bus in a while, but even bus rides, is an eye mask. And it has been a completely invaluable asset for my trip. So at least for my last train ride, they left the lights on a lot, and it's 12 hours. So my train left at like midnight, and I didn't get to where I was going until afternoon time. So I slapped that sucker right on, and I'm one of those people that I have to be in like complete silence and darkness to really get a restful sleep if I am not tired. Earplugs, maybe, it depends. So if you are having to listen out for your stop, I wouldn't recommend earplugs, but sometimes they come in handy. I know for trains, when they're rolling through towns that have a lot of like street crossings, they'll have to blow their horn, and that's the consistent thing throughout the train ride. So for me, that was kind of useless because the horn is pretty loud. Buses are much more quieter. It's a nice quiet ride. And you can just pop that sucker on and maybe some earplugs and just go with that. If you have a longer flight, they usually hand those out, but if you have a longer flight, just pop those on. I recommend dressing in layers because it doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. Dressing in layers is always like a definite plus, and something comfy, not something super tight, because like if you are being stuck in an area for XYZ amount of time, you don't want something tight that will chafe and cut off circulation and having to sit there for X amount of hours. In the event that for some reason like the AC goes out, you can always downgrade. And if it's cold, I think the only time I've been on a first class flight, the heat wasn't working for most of the plane ride, and so I had layered up. I put on my coat, they gave me a blanket, like the whole nine. Same with the train ride that I had, it was kind of cold. But I also had the flu. Like coming back on that train, I had the flu, so I was going through hot and cold flashes. That was fun. Also, if you're sick. So this is probably my downfall. I didn't bring any wipes with me to wipe things down. I'm usually not that person for short flights. I'm like, just hand sanitizer will do it because I'm not gonna be there long. But like I like lay down and stuff. So yeah, that was my fault. I looked at it. I saw it. I looked at it, and I didn't put it in my bag. And I was just like, here I am. Here I am. But actually, it was the person behind me that got me sick. He was coughing, and coughing behind me. So that's how I got sick. And then I'm a nice person, I think. So I kind of isolated myself on the way back. I didn't sit in my seat like almost the entire time. I sat in the dining car at my own little table to myself and just, silently died. So that was my way of keeping my infection rate down, because I was hacking. That was awesome. And I didn't have a mask. If you're that person that wears a mask, go for it. I didn't go through the airports mostly for fear of the corona, but the flu is much more common. But any type of public transportation, you're opening yourself up to different types of viruses and bacteria and whatnot. So I also recommend bringing like a blanket or a Snuggie. So I used to have a Snuggie. It has since disappeared through a roof. I don't know where it's gone, and it makes me sad because it was a Penn State Snuggie and I love that sucker. But my roommate let me borrow her like little fleece blanket. I brought that with me. It also, with blankets, it doubles up as a pillow as well. So the train that I had didn't have pillow covers on it or anything. Like usually have like padded backrests. It didn't have it this time, so I used it as a pillow. So I use it as a pillow to lay down, use it as a pillow in the window, and you can actually roll it under your neck to like use it as a pillow for that. I also brought a book in the event that the phone charger doesn't work or the Wi-Fi doesn't work. I packed a small carry-on type suitcase, and I just packed, I have a bag for toiletries, packed that sucker. Always bring a belt. That's like one of the things that most people forget when they're traveling. Always pack a belt. It doesn't matter what your clothing are, just pack a belt. For some reason, you always need a belt. I didn't bring a lot of the things that I usually bring when I go traveling, just because I knew I was going home and a lot of the things my mom had. So I didn't bring like lotion. Because my mom, she is Bath and Body, and I think that's everything I have to tell you guys. So enjoy your day, week, year, month, whatever. Goodbye, internet people. Oh yeah, like and subscribe.